Hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. In previous video, we have seen how to design this one, that is view all employees, and how to backend code for this. So if you haven't watched the video, then just go to description there. I put the link from my previous video. In this video, we are going to see how to design for this one, that is delete employee, and how to backend code for this. So let's start with this. So let's close this application and we move back over here. So in last video, we have seen this. Let me close this quickly. And what we are going to do is just go to Solution Explorer, right click on this, add on this, and select this new form. Click on this one. And I'm going to give this form a name, this form which we have selected. I'm going to just change the name for this one from form 2 to delete form or delete employee. And click on add. This will add a new form over here. So first thing what I'm going to do is I'm going to remove this border from this form. So click on this and scroll over here, search for this form border style, just select on this and select none. After this, we are going to change the background color. So this one is a little bit gray, so I'm going to change this one to white. So go to custom, select this one. Now we are going to set the size for this one. So just select this, move back over here, just change the size from 800 450 to 727 comma 745 and hit enter, and this is the same size for our form. After this, what I'm going to do is I'm going to just move back over here to the view employee, and I'm going to copy, not view, let me just move back to this update employee, and I'm going to copy all of these items from here. And let me just close this and move back over here and paste it over here. After this, make some space and put this one in the proper position like this. After this, just click on this and change the name from update employee to delete employee. So just delete this one, delete employee. Then we have this btn delete. So let's change the button name. So btn delete and change this one to, okay, this one is reset, right? So that's just leave it as it is. After this, we need to change the color for this one to red, something like this one. And whatever the text written inside this one needs to be changed to delete, right? So delete. And again, I'm going to change the text color. So for color is white. So I'm going to select this and select black. And we have one icon, right? So I'm going to change the icon. So click on this one, select images, click on this one. And I'm going to use this close button. So click on this, okay, and here you can see this. Now the icon is changed. One more thing what we have to do is we have to make these text field read only so that we cannot make any modification on these. So select all of these fields at once and search for this read only and select this one to true. Now whatever the field, whatever the data will be inside, that will be read only. You cannot make any modification in that because we are going to only search the user and simply going to perform the delete operation. Okay, that's it. What we are going to do it inside this one. So first thing, what we want to do is whenever we click on the search button, I want to get the data from here and search into the database and fill the data into these all. So how to do that? For that, just double click on this button so that we can generate a btn search click event. So before we code over here, first thing what we have to do is we have to mix object of some of the stuff. So that is database operation, because we are going to perform the database operation. Is equal to new database operation. And this is a custom class which we have created in the previous videos so that to perform all the insertion and fetch of the data operation. So make sure you watch the video series from the start. Okay, so next thing I need to some variables, string query data set ds to store the data. And after this, I'm going to take one variable that will be boolean. And the name for this one will be employee available is equal to false. After this, just move back to this one. And here what we are going to do is we are going to put all the code into the try and catch block. So if anything goes wrong, it will not crash my application, right? So exception, try and catch inside this one. If anything goes wrong, so I'm going to simply write that exception to the console. So console.writeLine. And we are going to pass the EX. After this, what we have to do is we have to take a extract username into a variable. So username is equal to txt username dot text. And finally, we have to write the query to fetch the data, right? So let's write the query. So query is equal to, inside this one, we are going to write the query. So select e dot star and a dot star from employee as e inner join app user as a on e dot app user underscore fk is equal to a dot app user underscore pk, where a dot username is equal to whatever the username is which we got from the text field. So here we have to pass the username like this one. Okay. So I have already explained this query in the previous video, but still I'm going to explain this again. So what we did is we have selected employee as e. E dot star means select all the columns from employee. So whenever we type app user as a, so a dot star means select all the columns from this app user. Okay, and we have put the join operation on the which key, on the app user fk from the employee table and app user pk from the app user tables. And where we have checked for from the app user, from the column username, we have to fetch that if this username is equal to that one. So if this is the scenario, then what we are going to do is we have to simply perform the database operation dot get data. Inside this one, we have to pass the query. Okay. After this, if I move back over here, and now we will check if this data set contains some data or not. So if ds is not equal to null and ds.tables 0 dot rows 0 not row 0 rows dot count is not equal to 0, then it means that username actually fetch some data. If this is not the case, then in the else condition, I'm going to show the user that the details not found or employee not found. And before that, what I want to do is employee available is equal to false. After this, I'm going to show the message box dot show. Inside this one, we have to simply type employee not found like this one. And for the message box, I'm going to give it a name. So that will be information. And after that, I'm going to put one button into the message box. So message box button, and that button will be OK. And I'm going to put one icon into this one. So the icon will be information. Message box icon dot information like this one. After this, just move back over here, and if employee is found, in that case, I'm going to change the variable employee available to true. After this, we need to fetch the data from this data set, and we need to set into all the fields. So txt name dot text is equal to ds dot tables 0 dot rows 0 comma 1 dot to string. Okay, so you must be worried that how we have get the value txt name. So if I move back over here, in the previous video we have set this text field as name, right? So if I move back over here, you can see that this is txt name. So whenever we copy any text field or any button from another form, then all the properties related to that button or that text field is also copied at the same time. So here you can see this. When I click on this one, txt hire date is there. Whenever I click on this, txt contact is already there. If I click on this, btn reset is there. If I click on this, btn exit is already there. Okay, so all the properties corresponding to these are already available. So I can directly set the values inside this one. After this, we have txt hire date dot text is equal to ds dot tables 0 dot rows 0, and the column will be 2, and convert this one to string. After this, we have txt contact.text is equal to ds.tables 0.rows ds.tables 0.rows 0 and column is 3. Convert this one to string. After this, dot text. After this, we have txt gender. So txt gender dot text is equal to ds dot tables 0 dot rows 0. This one is 4th dot to string. After this, we have txt address dot text is equal to ds dot tables 0 dot rows 0 5th dot to string, like this one. After this, txt city dot text is equal to ds dot tables 0 dot rows. This one will be 0 and the column will be 6, and convert this one to string. After the city, we have txt state dot text is equal to ds dot tables, and from the 0th table dot rows and 0th, and the column is 7. Convert this one to string. Okay, so whenever we fetch the data corresponding to a query, it returns the data in the form of a table, and this data set actually stores it in a form of table. So from that table, we have only one table, so table 0, and there will be only one row corresponding to it. If corresponding to that username, if there is multiple users, then this data set will contain 2 rows. But in our case, we have already validated that you cannot add the duplicate username, so we will have only one value inside this one. So from the 0th row, I'm going to fetch the first stuff, that is the name. After that, from the 0th row, we are going to fetch the hire date. I've already explained the same stuff, and I have also demonstrated this query, why we are going to put 1 over here, why we are going to put 2 over here, why I'm going to put 3 over here, and why I'm going to put 4 over here. So if you haven't watched the previous video, then must watch it. Link is already in the description. Okay, so let's execute this and let's see if this one is working fine on it. So before we execute this, what we have to do is we have to move back into this one to the dashboard, and we have to connect that form with this button, that is delete employee. So if I click on this, and here you can see this delete employee tool strip menu item. So double click on this, this will generate a click event for that. So first we will check that if that form is opened or not. So application dot open forms dot of type, inside this one we will pass type delete employee, and we will check the count for this form is equal to 1. It means that this form is already opened. If this is the case, then what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring that form to the front. So application open forms dot of type, inside this one we will pass delete employee, and we will get the first and dot bring to front. It's simple like that. If this is not the case, then in another scenario, what we have to do is we have to open the new form. So what I'm going to do is delete employee is equal to new delete employee, and delete employee dot show. As simple as this. Now the task for this button is done. Let me just close this dashboard. Let me just close this and move back over here and just click on the empty space. And what I want is whenever this form open, I want to open this form in the center of the screen. So click on this, go over here, search for start position. Just click on this one, select center screen and save it. Now start our application, and I'm going to put my username, that is admin, and the password is pass. So if I click on login, if I go over here, just click on this delete employee, and you can see this now delete employee is opened in the proper position. So if I try to search for EMP99 or something wrong, if I try to search it, here you can see this employee not found. If I try to search for the valid employee, that is EMP99, which we have or added the data in the previous video. So if I try to search it, and here you can see this EMP99 power reserve, and all the data is visible over here, and you can see that these are read only. It means that I cannot make any modification on these text fields. Okay. After this, if I change this one to 100 and if I search it, here you can see this data is changed. Here you can see this, if I change the ID and if I search it, employee not found, but still the data is over here. So what we're going to do is, whenever we search and the data is not found, we are going to clear all the fields. So we will do it all in a while. So let me close this. So we haven't coded for this one. So let me exit my application. And if I move back over here, just double click on this, and here I'm going to type this dot close. And if you want to put a confirmation message over there before closing, then you can put like this: if message box dot show, and here are you sure you want to close, like this one, confirmation. Let me just zoom it up a little bit. Okay, and I'm going to put one message box button of yes and no, and message box icon to warning. And if this is equal to dialog result dot yes, then we want to close this. Here you can see this. Let me just move back over here. Okay, not like this. Let me just delete one. Let me just delete this one and put it again so that everything is in proper position. Now save it, and now let's start this and let's check this one. Admin, pass, login, and if I move back over, click on this one, and if I click on this, here you can see this: are you sure you want to close? So if I click on no, this form will be opened. If I click on yes, this will close this form. Okay, so this one is working fine. Next thing, what we have to do is, whenever I want to click on this reset, then I want to clear all the fields. So if I move back over here, let me just simply write one method, that is private void clear all fields, like this one. And here I'm going to first clear the txt address dot clear. After that, I'm going to clear the city dot clear. After this, I'm going to clear the contact dot clear. After that, I'm going to clear the gender dot selected index to -1, because it's a combo box. So clear method is not available in the combo. After the gender, we have to reset the hire date. In the same way, in the hire date, we don't have the selected index or clear property. We have the reset text. Okay. Again, txt name dot clear, txt state dot clear, and one more thing which we have to do is employee available. Just convert this one to false. Okay. And if I move back away on this button, click, just double click on this to generate a btn click event. And here we are going to copy this method and paste it over here and just put like this. Okay. Now let's check if this one is working fine or not. So if I move back over here, admin, pass, login. If I move back over here, click on this one and search for EMP99 and search for it. And if I reset it, here you can see this, everything is gone. Search it, here you can see this 15 Jan 2023. If I reset it, it's 19 Jan. That is the today date. Okay, so this button is working fine. Next thing, what we have to do is, let me just close this and let me just close this one. After this, whenever I want to delete a record, if I click on this, I want to delete that record and reset all of these fields. So let's do that. Double click on this and this will generate a btn delete click event. And here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put all the code into a try and catch block. Exception ex, and simply write the exception to console.write line ex, like this one. And first thing what I'm going to check is if employee is found or not. So employee available, and if this is the case, then what I'm going to do is query is equal to delete from employee from app user, where app user underscore fk is equal to app user underscore pk, and username is equal to single quotes, double quotes, plus plus, double quotes, and single quotes. Just close this, and txt username dot text. So we have to delete the data from employee, also from the app user, and where app user and employee pk is same and username is txt username, this one. Now the query is ready. Next thing what we have to do is we have to simply call the database operation dot set data. Inside this one we have to pass the query, and finally we have to pass the message, that is employee deleted, like this one. After this we will write another query to delete the data from app user. So delete from app user, where username is equal to single quotes, double quotes, plus plus, double quotes, and single quotes. Inside this one we will pass txt username dot text, like this one, and database operation dot set data. Inside this one we will pass the query, and this time I don't want to show the message. After this we need to clear all the fields. So clear all fields and simply call this. Now let's check this if this one is working or not. So I have started my application, admin and pass login, and if I click on this one, and if I search for emp99 and search it, and if I click on this delete, employee deleted, click on OK, and here you can see that this is reset. So if I try to search it once again, here you can see this employee not found corresponding to this username. So that employee is deleted. So let's close this and just click on exit. And you can also put a confirmation message over here before you're performing this operation. Okay. In the else condition, what we have to do is we have to make this employee available is equal to false, and I want to show a message box dot show that employee not found, and I'm going to put this one as information, and I'm going to put one button into the message box, so that will be OK, and message box icon will be information. And let's start this and let's test this one. So admin and pass login, click on this one, and try to search emp99 and search this, and we can't able to find it. If I try to delete it, employee not found, the same exception or same message we are getting, right? So let me close this application and let me move back over here. Next thing what we have to do is whenever we change the text into this text field, I want to clear all the fields, right? So just click on this, go to event, go to this text change, just double click on this, and here we have to simply call that clear all fields. Now save it and now start the application, and let's see how this one works. So admin and pass and login. If I move back over here, click on this and search for new employee, that is emp99, not 99. We have added one more, that is emp100. So search for it, and here you can see this, we have the values. And after this, whenever I try to change this one, here you can see this, everything is cleared. You need to search this again. Okay, so this is how this delete employee functionality is working. So that's it for this video, guys. Please hit like, subscribe, and share it with your friends, and follow us on Instagram. In the next video, I'm going to show you how to design and code for this ad visitor. So stay tuned and subscribe.